Why narcissists always come back, and what they want when they do. They left, you survived it. You rebuilt something that felt like your life again. And then they came back. And the worst part is not that they came back. The worst part is that part of you was glad. That gladness has a name. It has a documented psychological mechanism rooted in dark psychology. And the person who came back knew exactly what they were returning to when they knocked on that door. Today, I am going to show you what is actually happening when a narcissist returns, what they want, what the return reveals about their psychological state, and the one question you must answer before you make any decision about what comes next. Here is why this moment is more dangerous than the original relationship. When a narcissist first enters your life, you have no data. You cannot see the manipulation tactics because the pattern has not yet revealed itself. You respond to who they appear to be, which is carefully constructed to be exactly what you need. When they return, you have data. You know what happened. You know how it ended. You know what it cost you. And they are returning anyway. Which means this time the manipulation is not operating on your hope. It is operating on something far more powerful and far more targeted. It is operating on your memory of the best version of them, on your knowledge of the worst, and on the gap between those two things that your brain has been trying to resolve ever since they left. That unresolved gap is what they are walking back through, and they have had time to study exactly how wide it is. Here are the 5 reasons narcissists come back, and what each one reveals about their actual state. The first reason is supply depletion. The narcissist did not leave because they were done with you. They left because a better supply source presented itself. Someone who could provide the admiration, covert control, and validation they needed at a higher intensity than you were currently providing. That source has now either rejected them, seen through them, or simply become familiar enough that the supply has diminished. Familiar people stop providing the quality of supply that new conquests do. The new person has now become what you were, and you, in their absence, have become new again. You are not being returned to because you are loved. You are being returned to because you are available and pre-qualified. They already know your vulnerabilities. They already know your pressure points. The return is efficient in a way that starting over with someone new is not. The second reason is control reassertion. Some narcissists return not because their supply has depleted elsewhere, but because your apparent recovery threatens their self-image. A narcissist's identity is partly built on their psychological control over you. The idea that you have moved on, rebuilt, and are functioning without them is experienced as a narcissistic injury. It implies they were not as important as they believed, that you did not need them as much as they thought. The return in this case is not about wanting you back. It is about wanting to confirm that they still have the ability to destabilize you, to walk back in and watch the ground shift, to remind both of you that the connection was real and significant and that they hold the power within it. If you respond with visible emotion, visible disruption, visible need, they have what they came for. They may not even stay. The third reason is hoovering. Psychologists named this tactic after the vacuum cleaner brand. The narcissist sucks you back in before you get far enough away to see them clearly. Hoovering looks like the most genuine version of them you have ever seen. Tears, vulnerability, specific acknowledgement of exactly what they did wrong, promises that are precisely calibrated to address the exact reasons you left. Here is what makes hoovering so effective and so dangerous. The acknowledgement is real information. They do know what they did. They have thought about it. The specificity of their acknowledgement feels like insight, like growth, like the self-awareness you always hoped they were capable of. But insight and change are not the same thing. Insight without the sustained behavioral work of actual change is just better manipulation tactics. And a narcissist who has had time away from you has had time to refine exactly which words will open the door. The fourth reason is punishment. Not all returns are attempts to reconnect. Some are attempts to ensure that leaving costs you something. This return looks different from the others. It is colder, more transactional. The narcissist reappears in your life through mutual social circles, through professional contexts, through indirect channels that allow them to observe your response without full exposure. They are assessing whether you are doing better or worse than when they left. If you are doing better, the visit plants seeds of disruption. If you are doing worse, it confirms their importance and their impact. Either outcome serves them. The fifth reason is a genuine psychological crisis. This is the rarest of the five and the most dangerous to misread. Some returns happen because the narcissist has experienced something that has temporarily cracked the defenses. A significant loss, a health scare, a professional collapse. In this state, they may present as genuinely different, more raw, more honest, more human than you have ever seen them. This is the version of them that makes people re-enter relationships they spent years escaping. The crisis is real, the rawness is real, the temporary crack in the defenses is real. What is not real is the assumption that a temporary crack becomes a permanent structural change. Narcissistic defenses rebuild. They are extraordinarily resilient precisely because they are protective. The person who was raw and honest in crisis will not remain raw and honest in stability, and you will be back in the relationship when the defenses return. Here is how to recognize which of the five you are dealing with right now. Did they return immediately after a new relationship ended, or did it cool off? Supply depletion. Did they return specifically after visible evidence of your recovery? Control reassertion. Did they return with a specific, almost surgical acknowledgement of everything they did wrong? Hoovering. Did they return through indirect channels with minimal direct engagement? Punishment. Did they return during or immediately after a significant personal crisis of their own? Genuine psychological crisis that will not sustain. None of these five reasons is a reason to go back. Here are 3 concrete steps. Do not respond immediately. Whatever their reason for returning, your immediate response is the most valuable data point they are collecting. Delay provides nothing they can use. Allow at least 72 hours before responding to any request or message. Use that time to identify which of the 5 categories you are dealing with. Talk to someone who knew you before the relationship, not someone who will tell you what to do. Someone who knew the version of you that existed before this person edited you. Their perception of the situation will be uncontaminated by the psychological conditioning the relationship has installed. Write the answer to one specific question before you make any decision. If nothing changes from this moment forward and the next 2 years look exactly like the last 2 years looked, is that a life you are willing to live? Answer that question honestly. Then make your decision based on that answer, rather than on the emotional state their return has activated. The next video in this series goes deeper into the specific psychological profile of the person running these tactics, what they actually feel, what drives the behavior, and the one thing that makes them fundamentally different from the person you believed they were. Watch the full series in order. The playlist is linked in the description. Every video builds on the last. Click the next one now. Drop one word in the comments that describes how you felt when they came back. One word? I read every single one.